Alright, so in this tutorial I want to show you a little bit more about the commons, and I want to speak specifically to an issue that has been brought to my attention. This is something I've made Instructure aware of, and they're going to be looking into a fix. So I'm starting in my Sandbox course, and currently I just want to show you that I don't have any content in here. So I don't have any content here. I literally just have empty stuff here. So I'm going to create a little bit of content. I'm going to call this first module my module. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a new page in this module called my page. So I'll add that item. There we go. So I've got module called my module, page called my page. Let's publish both of them. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to jump over here to this lab resources course. Okay? And I'm going to come over here to a module that I have in this course right here called the Unit 1. Actually, let's do Unit 2 spectrophotometry. Okay? So let's share Unit 2 spectrophotometry. Let's share this to the Commons. And I'm just going to use this as an example with my own courses right now, so I'm not going to share it with the rest of Colin. I'm just going to give some arbitrary descriptions here, so I'm going to call this, this is being used as an example. And then for the image, we'll just look for spectrophotometry. See if it brings up anything from Flickr. That one looks like it'll work. Okay, so there we go. Setting the parameters as we've done before, and I've shared it. Okay, so I've successfully shared this course, specifically this module from this course, to the Commons. Okay, so I'm going to jump back into my Sandbox course now. And what I want to show you is I want to show you an issue, and then I'm going to show you how to resolve this issue in the event that it happens to you. So remember, in this course I have my module and my page. Now let's say that I want to add in that Unit 2 module. So I'm going to come over here to Home in my Sandbox course, and I'm going to import from the Commons. So I click Import from the Commons. I'm going to go over here to Shared, and I'm going to bring in the spectrophotometry course. So I click on this. I can scroll down and you'll notice the module items here say I have this testing slideshow, test slideshow, and a protocol. Okay, so I'm going to choose to import this into my Sandbox course. So Sandbox course, import that into the course. It says that I've successfully started the import, and so now I'm going to go back over to my Sandbox course. And now when I come over to modules, if the import has completed, you'll notice I now have my module and Unit 2 spectrophotometry. Okay, so now that we've pulled this module in, I can actually modify it. I can move content around. So if I wanted to move the testing slideshow in here, then I could do that. But let's assume that this is exactly what I want. Now, I could also, in theory, delete content from this if I wanted to. I could remove that video and I could remove this tab, and it's in my course, so it makes sense. That's essentially what I can do. I pulled that module in and now I can modify it. But here's the issue. So let's assume that in this Sandbox course I am one instructor. We'll call me Instructor A. Okay, so I'm the instructor who pulled the content from the Commons. But when I'm in this course over here, in my Lab Resources course, I'm Instructor B. I'm the actual instructor who pushed a module I had created to the Commons. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to add a new page. So let's say I add a brand new page called New Page. I'm just going to call it Brand New Page. And I'm going to add that item to that module. And for whatever reason, I decided, hey, this new page I've created is a really important part of this module. So now I'm going to go to push this to the Commons. So I'm going to choose to share this to the Commons. Okay? And so I'm going to say this is an update, as I have been taught to do. And in version notes, added a brand new page. Everything else is the same. I click update, and what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to simply update this module, meaning that only the content in the Unit 2 module should be populated here. So that's what's supposed to happen in this module. Okay, so I updated that. Now, just to remind you, I'm going to go back over here to my Sandbox course and show you that with that update, nothing happened. Okay, so if I come over here and I go to modules, you'll notice that my Unit 2 module here remains unchanged by that update. And the reason for that is I don't implement any of the updates to my course until I actively choose to by going to the comments. So I'm going to do that now. So let's say, again, I'm back in my Sandbox course, so I'm no longer Instructor B, I'm back to being Instructor A. So I had pulled in Unit 2 from the Commons. I'm going to come over here to the Commons, and when I do that, I get an update, and it lets me know, hey, this course has been updated. All right, so let me show you what actually happened here. All right, so we're going to go into Shared. I'm going to click on Unit 2 Spectrophotometry. And you might notice there's something that's a little fishy here. In this module, stuff from Unit 1 is populating. And it's not supposed to. But let's say that I didn't realize this had happened. So I'm Instructor A now. I come over here, I get this notification. It says, hey, by the way, you got an update. Okay, so I can choose to update this content. And here's the current issue. I click on update. It says, do you still want to update this? And I say, yes, I want to update that. Okay, so far so good, right? Well, there's an issue. I'm going to click on courses here. And I'm going to go into my Sandbox course. And here's what the issue is. First and foremost, when I said yes, I would like to update that resource, it technically overwrote my Unit 2 module. So now when I go into modules here and I look at Unit 2, all the stuff I deleted is now going to be back in that module. Now, that particular aspect of how updates work, that is apparently going to be changed in an update that Instructure will be pushing sometime in the not too distant future. From what I spoke with our rep about, it sounds like it's going to be sometime this year that that update will happen, where if the original content creator makes changes, when you go to update the content that you pulled from the Commons, you'll be able to say, I want to keep this, I don't want to keep that from the update. So that's coming. But there's one other big issue that happened here. Let me show you. Let's click on modules now in my Sandbox course. And here's the other issue. Unit 1, which was not part of the Unit 2 module, was brought in, and the other modules that had been part of that course were brought in. So in updating Unit 2, Instructor B, unknowingly, and this is not the instructor's fault, this is something that's currently happening with Canvas, all of the content from that instructor's course was pushed to that module update. So when I chose to update, it pulled in all of the contents. And here's the kicker. These files are now part of my course. Okay? This module, these modules, they're all now part of this course. Now this is a problem. If I was trying to build this course for a department and I had worked really hard to build out the content of my modules and I just wanted to bring in this one module here, that's an issue because now all of this content, all of these modules are in this course. And the problem with that as well is with pages and with modules, you have to go one by one and you have to delete every one. So if I had 50 pages that were part of all of these modules here, that means I'm going to have to go through and delete 50 pages worth of content when I go over here to pages. And I don't want to do that. Well, the good news is there's an easier way to handle this if it happens to you. So if for some reason you accidentally pull in all of this content and realize, whoa, wait a second, I didn't want to do that, there's a very, very simple fix for it. And I'm going to show you that now. So what you're going to do is you're going to scroll down in your course navigation to Settings. And you're going to come over here and you're going to choose to export course content. So I'm going to click on this to export course content. and I'm going to choose to create an export for the entire course. Now, depending upon the size of the course, this could take anywhere from a few seconds, as you can see it's taking with me, to several minutes. Okay, so the cool thing is you will get an email upon completion, but this one looks like it's going pretty quickly, so there we go, it's finished. I'm going to click here to download. So that's going to download the course for me. There it is downloading right there. It's going to take about a minute, it seems, to download. Okay. All right, so I'm going to let that finish downloading. So what am I going to do here? Well, this is giving me a course cassette that I can then use. Okay, so again, I'm using this as a way of correcting issues that might arise. So I'm going to let that download, and I'm not going to do the next step until I have confirmed that I've actually effectively downloaded this course. All right, so another 44 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to get ready for the next step. So it's downloading right now. I'm going to go down here in my course navigation and I'm going to click on settings again to bring me back to the primary settings panel. But again, until it's finished downloading and I've confirmed that it's there, I'm not going to do anything. Okay, so it's downloading. We got about 20 seconds left. Here we go. And once it's done downloading, I'm just going to open up the folder where it is because I'm going to need to use this almost immediately. All right, sweet. So 4 seconds left, and it's done. Okay, so it's successfully downloaded. And now what I'm going to do is, I don't like having all those modules in this course or any of that. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to reset the entire course. Again, this is why it's so important that I downloaded all the content in that course cassette and I verified that the course cassette was actually downloaded, because now I'm going to reset the entire course. So I'm going to click here, reset course content, and then I'm going to click the red button because yes, I'm sure. This resets the entire course. It wipes all the content. So now if I go over here to modules, none of my content is there. If I go over here to files, none of my content is in this course. This course has been wiped entirely clean. Okay, so now what do we do? Well, I'm going to go back to settings, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose to import content into this course on the right hand side. So I click import content into this course, and then I'm going to click on this drop down and I'm going to choose to use a Canvas course export package. And then I'm going to check the radio button that says select specific content. Then I'm going to go here to source and I'm going to choose that download file. So I click downloads. Here's that file that I just downloaded, and I choose that, and then I'm going to click import. You're going to get a status bar that looks very, very familiar as this uploads. So right now you get this cog, and here comes the status bar here in just a moment. This is 9 megs, so it's probably going to take a little bit of time. And I'll go ahead and speed up the tape right now so that we can get to the end of this. So if you see it kind of just jump, then understand that all I'm doing is I'm letting it sit and I'm speeding it up so that we can get to the end result a little faster. Okay, so here's our status bar telling us that it's currently running and attempting to implement this course, and then once you've gotten that completed, you're going to get the option to select the content you want to import. And here is the real power of this. I can actually choose which modules I'd like to bring back into my course. So I'm going to bring in my module, and then you'll remember that this Unit 2 spectrophotometry did have all of the original content back in it, so that's unfortunate, but I still want it in my course. So I can go back in and I can easily delete a couple of the things from Unit 2 after I do this import. So I select these 2 items and I don't select the rest, and then after I'm happy with that, I just click select content. I'm going to again get this running status bar, and this is going to then just implement and import that content. So once it's completed, I can now come over here to my modules, and you'll notice that I'm back to just having the content that I wanted. And here, if I decide, hey, I want to delete this again, I can remove, and remove this last one, and I am now back to having the content that I originally wanted in my course. So in this video, hopefully you've seen that even if something happens where there is a bug and the Commons kind of goes awry, it's still very, very easy in Canvas to get us back to our original starting point. And this also, I think, really emphasizes the importance of why we create content in modules. Because if I have pages in the module, if I have files in the module, if I have videos in the module, anything I have in these modules is automatically pulled over to my course. So you'll notice that now in Pages, I have my page that's going to be brought over. Okay? So that is brought over. Now you'll also notice that brand new page was brought over, so I can choose to delete that here. And that's how we can correct this issue. Okay? So that's how we can correct very quickly an issue that arose in the Commons. Okay? Again, I've notified Instructure of this issue, and they are currently working on a fix, so hopefully that will be fixed soon, and then I will go ahead and post an announcement once I know that it has been fixed.